I am Master Kanvai. I bring you Jess versus Andy. In my own opinion, this is almost fair. I mean, Andy is probably low tier 3, while Jess is probably high tier 4. So I hope you guys will enjoy. Let's do this. So let's do this as usual. I will be really fast on the first few turns because it's boring to watch infantry walking around. We spread the units. We shoot the pipe. We cap buildings. Now, I realized as I played a few games with Peach, he likes a lot the early recons, and I guess this is okay, but early tanks are much better. But that's just my own opinion, and I criticize someone who beat me more than I could beat him. So, yeah, you will see how this game will go. He created his first tank, and I already have my first tank. His capture game is better than mine, but this will change, maybe. We will see. So, I took my first anti-air out, because I don't like early battle capture. Early battle capture should die. And this is a well-placed APC. I like that move a lot. So he create 2 tanks, 1 infantry. This is a very good turn for him. I go for buildings. I cap buildings. I go for my com tower. I make sure to conceal my units. I have my first battlecopter out. Because why not? Even if Jess units are weak here in terms of air units, they are still very good. So now, interesting move. He sent all of his tanks there. And I think maybe it's because it's his weak point. Or maybe he was sure he was able to get that area. I don't know. If you see this video, Peach, please tell me what were your thoughts in the comments. I don't understand this move. You should have sent one of the tank in this area. So I go for the building. I cap buildings. So right now he's ahead of me, but I feel like I have a more tactical position right now. I have a tank already on the front line. Is coming to the front line, but it's not already there. And yeah, now you will see something very interesting there. He removes his recon because I think he knew I was setting up an ambush to the recon, so he did a good thing to remove his recon out of the way. And now he sends his tank. All of his units in his weak points, and I guess this is okay. This is not impressive, this is okay. He creates battlecopter and tank and artillery as well. I think at that point he realized he was wasting his artillery there, so he did the right thing, you know? So I move my infantry around, I cap buildings, I hide my tank, I hide the anti-air, I send the second tank as backup. Now, as you can see, I'm far behind him in terms of value. He has a better income, that's the explanation, so he is able to purchase better units. But here, look at that. I surpassed him. So here, let's keep going where I did a small cut. He kept building, and now I see that infantry. I'm like, I will interrupt this gap, and I will stop him from getting that building. In the other end, I have this building, so maybe I will take the upper end. Who knows? So as you can see, he sent all of his tanks there. I really don't know what he was thinking. That's not really good, because he has no tanks there. So this means this entire flank is mine right now. So I need to make sure he does not get that building. I try to go for the building. And this way, I also attract unit toward my units. And you see two indirects, you'll tell me, oh, this is bad placing. It's not. This one is inside a forest. So they technically speaking cover each other. Of course, he can go on the blind spot, but if he does such thing and I get my power, I will just strike it with my medium tank, or depending on the unit, maybe my mech or my anti-air will do the job. So here at that point, he sends all of his troops toward the center, and the moment I realized it, I'm like, oh, he is trying to go for my HQ. But here at that point, I did not realize I only seen one infantry at that point. I'm like, okay, let's reinforce the HQ because I see one infantry and my infantry are shit. And here the ambush starts. Look at that. He goes for my building. And I won't say it's good or bad, it's okay. He had no clue what I had basically. So by doing this, he probably threw away a lot of units. And he threw away his tank there. This was a huge mistake. As Ming says, the biggest mistake of the game. No, I am just joking. He did worse later on the game. Sorry to roast you, my friend. It's just this game I'm really surprised on the way you played. Usually, you don't play this way. So now, it's my turn, and I'm stressed out. At that point, I'm like, oh, that ambush, because we were playing live, so I knew what was going on there. I was like, oh my, this is dangerous. I will need to send my anti-air there instead of there. At first I wanted my anti-air in this area, but then I realized he had so many infantry in the center, I needed that anti-air to clear up some infantry there. So I take out this other infantry, and now I shield my artillery the best way I can. So at that point, I know that infantry will die, but at least I can make it block. Because if I didn't do such thing, that infantry could go on my building, and I don't want that. First of all, and second, he would have gotten vision on my artillery here and the mech. So now he will need to use his units to have vision over my troops. Takes out the infantry, damage the mech, which is a very good move. And now he keeps harassing my troops in the center because he really wants my building in the center, and he did not have the firepower at that point. And now I'm stressed out because I see a tank in the center. I'm like, oh, I did not plan that. And then at that point I realized he did a mistake sending the battlecopter blind in this area without knowing what I had. And at that point I see my meter charging. I'm like, oh, I will probably get my power, and if I get my power, you will see some crazy stuff happening because Jess power is so good. So you see, so far the only good engagement he took was against my anti-air. Because most of the time, the engagement we had were infantry to infantry. And I had a really good shot on his tank with my artillery. So now he's more cautious because he realized I have a good wall there. So now this turn is the race for the power. I really want that power before I attack this. Mainly because I want 2 units to interrupt this gap, and knowing my infantry is weak here, I will need my power. And if I clear that infantry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Suddenly, because of my power, my medium tank can kill off one of his tanks. Just like that, for free. So the question is, am I able to do such thing? Now, at that point I bought a fighter, because I was really scared. He forgot to ban the stealth fighters. And since we had no word about not playing them, I thought he would play them. So I bought my first fighter here. And I did not ask, because if I would have asked, maybe he would have bluffed. Maybe he would have known I have a fighter. So I just played dumb, and I add indeed my power, and you see that goes right there, and pow. Now, since he is lacking in tanks in this area, you know what will happen next, right? So I take a good engagement on his anti-air. I know his power is coming, but at that point I don't really care about that, because I killed most of the units that were scary. So now, at that point, if he uses super, he only heals that anti-air there. That's also why I used my mech to attack it. Because a 6 HP mech can die from almost anything. So you need to stack it to gain star and to maybe do something good. Now I trade a second infantry. So now the value is not that different. But when you really take a look to the army on the field, he has nothing to compete with 2 medium tank. And for the air battlefield, because I have a fighter, I have the upper end. And as you can see in this area, he has no protection. So this means I have one building, one com tower, and another building. So here again, I don't understand how he was playing. Because usually Peach mops the floor with me. He is much better than me as a player. I'm more experienced, I have a good understanding of the game. But he is a more skilled player than me. Because experience is not everything. You can be experienced but be shit at what you're doing. So yeah. Now I come closer and I try to shield the best way I can this area. So I have tank, artillery, anti-air. And I know my anti-air will probably die, but at least he lost a tank. So now at that point I'm like, okay, I will retreat that anti-air, it needs some heal, and I will need to finish off each single unit I will see. So I create another medium tank, a recon, and a infantry. Now at that point the gap is only getting bigger, because it cannot keep up with me. Now he got his first medium tank, but I already have 3. So he has hard time to keep up with me. So he mops the floor with many of my troops, and he tries to reach my capping infantry. Now he uses hyper upgrade, because this is really good. But here he does 2 mistakes. Coming in range of me and this. You see, he has 2 tanks in this area. The third one is far behind. and I have a tank and a artillery. So guess what will happen on my next turn? So here again, during this turn, I see my meter getting full very fast. So I'm like, okay, if I can get another power, I can do a huge turn and I can go for the econ tower. Because you see, that tank can reach that tank. Because I have a battlecopter and an infantry to kill this infantry. So this means this tank can move forward with this tank. This tank can finish off the war. What will happen once that econ tower is cleared? I can capture it. So I remove that unit out of the way. I keep getting pressure. I keep giving pressure in this area. And I heal that anti-air and I heal that anti-air as well. Because I like to be ready for any kind of attack. So now I'm up the floor with his troops. I go for the building. And now here my power comes. I pop it even if it's for like 1 or 2 units. I need it. I need that buff because I want his econ tower. And I know if I get his econ tower, I win the game. Pow! No more tank. Only because I used my power. So even if only 2 units benefits from your power, maybe you can give a good push and steal a building from your opponent. And this is exactly what happened. So here, it takes engagement in the center. My fighter is nearby. So I'm ready for that. Come on in. Come to me. So here I lose a tank, but I know a medium tank is coming. And that artillery can still give some pressure there. And he resigned. Now you see, I totally understand. I have 4k more than him. I will steal his econ tower. So anyway, he did many mistakes, and that's not usual from him. So I hope you guys enjoyed the replay. Like, comment, and subscribe. We will see each other in future video. Have a great day.